Good morning, YouTubers. I just wanted to show you a couple of my other projects that I've been working on. I don't know if you can see it. That's an old 48 Chevrolet Fleetline. I've chopped the top on. It's kind of rough. Trying to clean up around here. That is a 76 Cosworth Vega. I got the hood and stuff covered over. It's got pretty healthy motor. It's a fun little car. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. There were a couple projects that I've got sitting around. Right now I'm in the process. I think I'm going to sell them. I've got so much going on right now that I just don't think that, I'm going to have time to get after them. I'm going to try to flip them, but it's just one of them deals that got so much going on that maybe I was hoping to do a couple of YouTube videos on it, to where it showed me doing some body work on the Vega and showed me doing some paint work and some the Vega. It don't have a whole lot to do to get it running, but it's just one of them deals that, like I said, with my mom and dealing with everything and possibly having to move my business back to the house to try to help keep an eye on her. I think I'm going to do that. I found a building, and it's one of them deals that it's really not too far from the house, and it's not a bad price on the building, and I'm really seriously thinking about it. And I had thought about taking y'all over there and letting you see it, but first I think what I want to do is see if I can't get the building. If I do get the building, what I'd like to do is some YouTube videos on it, to where it shows me doing some of the wiring, shows me really the wiring needs upgraded, and the whole building needs, it's a block building, but it needs a lot of work. It's just one of them things to where I didn't know if people would come that far out, because I live out that's a little bit excuse me, out past the lake, and it's a small little town that they kind of built the road around, but our community and thing out here, it's growing, it's coming out this way, so I don't see where it wouldn't hurt me any more than if I was in town. And what I like about it is there's a lot of regulations in town, and being out a little bit farther, I still have to go by, your local federal laws, but you can get by with a little bit more. I've got some buddies that got their shop buildings out, and, they don't get harped on for letting cars sit out. They don't get harped on for if they're working on a tractor or a backhoe or something, or a truck sitting out. And a lot of guys in town they get hounded constantly for their vehicles and things in town. And that's one thing I wanted to kind of talk with you. I don't know if excuse me, if you guys have run into that, but that's another thing in business that you got to take into consideration, is your location of your business. Let me get a drink here. Excuse me. And I've said this wow, a lot in a lot of my other videos, that location, 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 and your location sometimes can make or break you. I know my dad, he owned his own business, and he had a television repair business, but also he had the business to where it was in a fairly decent location. And, he had told me years ago, when times got tough, he said that the best time that he made the best money was when he moved it back to the house. And he took a garage, and I can remember helping him remodel the garage and putting, that's back when you had the old wood paneling. And we put wood paneling up, we put in, he didn't have a whole lot of money into it. And, like he said, it was pure profit. But, when there was bad times, that at least, he could made sure that he done enough to where he would, at least put food on the table. And, that's the sucky thing about owning your own business, is you have your up months and you have your down months. You have where it feels like the water is just flowing. And then there's times that you get it and it's like somebody shut the water off. And like I was telling you guys earlier, it amazes me how, wow, excuse me, how it feels, it can be either dry or wet, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of times I've seen people not make it through the hard times. And right now it's not a necessity for somebody to have a hydro-dipped gun or to have windows tinted, and I try to stay diversified because of that reason. And I was talking with a buddy, and I told him to go ahead and start doing it, but he usually gets an overflow of people that, want their oil changed, they want their just different things, alternators and things like that, and he's getting overflow of that, and he can't compete, to keep it, it's just his one-man shop. And I told him, if he wanted to, I would take up the slack. So hopefully, he'll put the word out there. But, I'm going to be the jack of all trades, because I would like to keep my building in town. It's just right now, I don't see where it's feasible for me to do that and have to drive back and forth. And, as much as I hate to say it is, to help keep an eye on my mom. And, that's just part of life. Your family, your loved ones comes first. And if I could, and that's what I'm in the process of doing right now, maybe finding a building or a place to where there's a possibility that I could maybe build me a shop, plus, build her a small home, to where it'd be like a little studio apartment or whatever it is. I just, that's one thing that I'd like to do. And boy, these people do not know how to use these roundy rounds. It just amazes me. Anyway, sidetrack. It cracks me up, and I know she understands to a certain point, but, there's a lot of times she'll ask me, during the week, and I'm trying to get it across to her that I can't just drop everything and focus on her stuff, and I told her, if we set a date or a day to where we can go do her stuff, I don't have a problem with that, but, I need to work it in to doing the business. And that's what I want people to understand is if you've got a business and you've got family members or loved ones, and you've got a mom or a dad or some aspect, there's always going to be a stepping stone. There's always going to be something that's going to come up, and you've got to be able to be flexible and be able to work around it. And there's a lot of times, and that's why I'm glad I use, I've got a cell phone that I use for my business rather than a regular phone, because I can go places and I can take calls, and I try to keep a log on it. And there's a couple times didn't write some things down and I missed people on an appointment, but I make it back up. I explain to them what the situation is. But that's what I want you people to understand, is that a lot of times when you're in business, you still have to be a little bit flexible, but you still got to go out there and do the job. And there's a lot of people that don't understand that. If they want the product right now, or the item that you're working on, tractor, whatever, and they want it right now, they don't give a crap what your problems are. And I've got to the point where I don't even tell them, hey, I had to do this or I had to do that, because they don't care. They don't care about your life. They only care of getting their product. And if you're there to do the job, great. If not, they'll go on down the road. And that's what I want you to understand, is a lot of people this day and age, that it's a hurry, and I'm sorry it's that way, but sometimes people don't understand that you have a life just like they do, but they don't want to hear your problems. They don't want to hear that, well, I can't get to that because I was taking care of this or that. They just, as long as the product's there and as long as you deliver, then they're happy. But if you don't fulfill your part of it, boy, they're the first to be on your butt. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get across to you guys that are wanting to start your own businesses and things like that. Family, whatever. It's really hard to get across to people. And I read a couple comments that somebody said, well, you guys, why is it all businessmen bitch about people's price? You just set a price. Well, you can't always just set a price and somebody wants you to, or you stick with it, because it just don't work that way. A lot of times, I have had, argued the point with people on the price. And, they don't understand that your cost has went up. And if you say something or tell somebody something, you really better be true to your word, because if you're not, they're going to be very upset with you, and they're going to go around and tell people, hey, he changed the price, or the price, he didn't stick with the price he told me. And that's what I want you to understand, that, yeah, you could say, I could set a price, but if my cost of my paint or my cost of my materials go up, and then I come back to them and say, hey, my material cost went up, my whatever, they're going to be very upset with you. And, a lot of times I'll tell them in the price of it, well, that's what I'm sticking with on the price, because, if my material cost goes up, that's why I'm charging you a little bit more. I have to take into the consideration. And I've had a couple people tell me, hey, that's not a problem. But if you're out there and you do that all the time, people have a tendency of not wanting to come back to you. And, I had a gentleman come to me that brought me a project that he went to somebody else, and he asked them, for a price, and give him a price, and that he had him do the job and that, and come back when he got the bill was more than what he had planned on it. And he told me, the gentleman said, oh, well, there was, I went ahead and done, the brakes were looking bad, and I turned the rotors. Well, that's not what they agreed on, but the guy just took it upon himself to go ahead and do the job. Well, make a long story short, he ended up, because they didn't sign an agreement in that, and he threatened to sue him, he ended up getting that stuff done for free. And that's what I'm telling you. You need to be aware. Just don't go and do something for somebody or add, I guess I'm getting off track, but you just got to watch what you do, because people are only going to pay you for what you do. And that's the whole thing that surprises me with some of these people that are out there, and they haven't never owned a business, but they're the first ones to jump on you and tell you how to run your business, but yet they don't understand that the cost of your materials, the cost of your lights, insurance, whatever, and you should stick with a price. Well, if you should stick with a price or whatever, maybe you want to, undercut that guy that, and I've done it before. I've lost money because I knew the gentleman or the person was going to send me business, and actually it helped my business better than it hurt my business. I practically done the item for cost, and the person was very happy, and he ended up sending me 4 or 5 window tint jobs out of the deal. And that meant more to me getting that money than the item that I hydro dipped, and he told a lot of people in the car community, man, if you want anything hydro dipped or whatever, you need to go to Russ, because he does an awesome job, and he does it at a fair price. And yeah, sometimes I complain about losing money or whatever, but there again, you got to take that into consideration as a businessman, what's going to help your business. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. Sometimes we do take a loss, or we do what do I want to say, I cut you a better deal than I will the guy down the road, because I know that you're going to send me business. And I get them ones that are always out there that want something for nothing, and you know them when they come in. And I don't know how many people I've had come in the shop from the car community, and a couple of guys that I knew quite well, and they'd tell me, say, oh, well, if you'll do that for a little bit of nothing, man, I'll advertise for you. I'll get I'll get your name out there for you. And a couple of them I did it, and I haven't seen squat. And it wasn't one of them things that I cared about, that I didn't lose out, but I knew in the long run that I wasn't going to see that money from them. And that's what I guess I'm trying to tell you guys, that I don't know, it's just one of them things. Hold on a minute, guys. I'm going to, excuse me, sneeze. But, it's just one of them deals that, and I know there's several of you out there that you think that business, and you have your own way of doing things, and that's fine. And, I just try to put these videos out there for the small business guy, or the guy or gal that's starting their own business. Just not go through what I had to go through. It's hard this day and age, and a lot of people don't understand how hard it is for the businessman. And I see why they say 3 to 5 years on businesses, because it's if you're not committed and if you're not down, planted on the ground, you know, you're going to have struggles. I've said that over and over. You know, you have them, you know, big time struggles. And you may get that one customer that's, man, he's great in that, and then the next time that he comes into the shop, he sees where you're a little bit flexible in that, and so he's flexible and when he pays you. And if you don't have enough money backing you, you know, that's just part of it. And I'm here at Home Depot. I got to pick up some stuff this morning, and I don't know, I wanted to kind of throw it out there this morning to you. I hate, you know, that, I don't know, it just, sometimes I wonder if people really pay attention or listen to what you have to say, and whether or not, you know, you're doing the right thing, or you're helping people out, or if they just, you know, it goes in one ear and out the other. You know, like I said, I've been putting these videos out, and I kind of wanted to, you know, try to help the small business guy or gal out. And, you know, if you want to see more content like this, please let me know. Like, share, comment. I want to give a shout out to Jay Young, Shauna. I want to give a shout out to Bruce Allen, Nesser, the Junkie, Garnett Tools. I know I'm missing some people, but you need to go watch their videos. Keep this YouTube community going. I think it's awesome what we all have going. I think it's great that, you know, I've learned a lot from all of you. You know, Jeff Kennedy, I love watching his videos. I learned a lot on the microphones and things, and when I get the money, I'm going to purchase. There was a couple deals I seen on his videos that, you know, I liked, you know, how he done them. You know, I don't know a whole lot about some of this stuff, and it really helped me out. So, you know, if it helps one person, I think you're doing the right job. Bruce Allen, keep up the good work. I like your videos. You know, keep me entertained. Justin Dowell, you know, I think you're doing an awesome job with your deal, helping the mechanics and things out. I'm not thinking clear this morning, but it's just, you know, just y'all keep it up and keep putting the videos out. And once again, like, share, comment, subscribe. God bless, and have a blessed day.